Hey legends, and today it's a sad one. We're going to talk about why my fish died. Hey legends, it's your boy Link, and we will be going to the fish shop later in the video to get new fish. But as you can see, my tank has no fish in right now. Let's have a better look at it. So as you can see, there's lots of hair algae popping up. I've literally hand picked it last night to get it down. I'll pop in some pictures of how bad it was, but all my corals are still alive. My snails are still fine. Still have one hermit crab, so it's time to get some more corals. Some more fish. I might get a coral as well. The only coral that we lost was the hammer, but there is little sparks of purple and green on the kind of lower down on the base of this hammer, so it still has life. But also this Duncan, which we thought we were going to lose, I can't get low enough to film, but it's basically started growing a second head on the back, so you can kind of see there, and another one on the side. So it's now got it's now technically got 3 heads, but 2 of them are obviously tiny. But yeah, that's recovered well. But you can see there's still hair algae, so I want to top the snails up. Need to get a tang in here. But yeah, all my fish died. So let's talk about that before we go to the shop and get more. So there's been no fish in the tank for almost 4 months. Basically what happened was, it was an amateur mistake. Like I was stupid basically. So during the heat wave in the summer, the tank's temperature got to 35 degrees. It is near a window, so I know it's not ideal, but I've been keeping fish for like 20 years. I know when it's hot to put a fan on the surface. I know when it's hot to put a cold water bottle in. And like the day before, I've been monitoring it and keeping an eye on it. And this particular day I slept until 12. And by the time I come downstairs, every single fish was dead. I don't think it was necessarily the heat that killed them, because all the corals are fine, snails are fine, most of the crabs were fine. Did lose a few hermit crabs, but still have one. What I think happened was the oxygen in the tank got too low. So when the water was warmer, the water holds less oxygen, so I don't have like a big sump. I'm running this kind of like an AIO, but it's even simpler than that. I have an internal filter, and I did have 2 internal filters. No wave makers at the time. I have got a wave maker, but the flow was a little bit too much for some of the corals, because I had a 3,000 litre an hour filter on this tank, which is just too much. So what I've done now, before I get the fish, I wanted to replace the filter, get a new small wave maker, and just get everything settled, cycled. And it's been set up well over a year, so it'll be well cycled. Like I could load it with fish right now. When I put the fish in, I've put some Seachem Stability in there, which is like a bacteria media, but my rock is well alive with all those corals on and stuff. So the filter has the media out of the old filter, the biomedia. I bought a bigger filter, so I can run 1 filter instead of 2. And I've bought a little wave maker. I've bought all Seachem stuff, so it's like nice quality stuff instead of your cheaper brands. And I'll show you what we got. So we have the Seachem 1000 wave maker. As you can see, the hair algae is in the wave maker. That is stuff that basically has fallen off since I picked it yesterday. As you can see, there's a little bit on the heater. The back wall doesn't really have hair algae, but it does have sort of like coralline spots. There's a spot of like pink algae there next to my serif snail, but my serif snail's still happy, going around doing his job. And then if I zoom out, this is the filter I got. So I got the Seachem Shark 900, and it's filtering. As you can see, hair algae, where I picked it yesterday, was like loose hair algae in the tank that I didn't take out by hand, which has gone on. So like the zoas have got a bit of hair algae around them, but I did pick it yesterday. So it like I literally, this week I've taken out 3 jugs of hair algae. So I'm hoping to get like a tang or a rabbit fish or something that will keep that down. Hopefully they've got some snails at the shop to top it up. But you know, on the whole, like I lost a few heads of those zoas. These ones died before I lost everything. They were clove polyps. This is a frag from these pallies. Honestly, I've got so many like bits where it's like frag. I've dumped some in the back there next to me GSP just to get it out of the way. I've got a Gorgonian at the back going well as well. So yeah, we're doing well. But we just need to get some fish in there now because it's empty. But I've gone for CJ, 5-year warranty on the pumps. And this thing's brilliant. The Shark Advance, like, it's put on with a magnet. As you can see there, it's like a magnet. And the bottom section just lifts off with a magnet. So there's no like unscrewing and stuff, which just makes it easy to maintain. And that's what you want. And I've also got some phosphate media in there, as well as biomedia and your normal filters and carbon and stuff. But a lot of people say, oh, don't use filter floss with a marine tank. But I think do. But just maintain it. Like, you've got to change it like every week, every 2 weeks. You can't be leaving it for a month without changing it. Some people don't want to do the maintenance. If you're willing to do the maintenance, you can have an awesome little tank like this and keep it pretty clean. You know, look at my sand. There's a few little bits like there. But yeah, my sand is clean, and that's without having loads of fish and stuff in there. I have got a good population in this area now, so they're turning my sand over. But yeah, the corals on the whole are doing well. Now let's go get some fish. So I have lots of goodies from the fish store. We have 3 fish, a coral frag, and some copepods to top them up. Always like adding more copepods to the tank, and especially because at the minute there's no fish in there. It's a great time to add them now. Let them kind of settle in before the fish get added once they've acclimated. Because then the copepods find places to hide, and it will add to my culture of existing copepods. So that's always a good idea before you add fish to add copepods. And spent £200. So should we see what we got? So we have a hammer coral, a little fox face, a Scopaz tang. So they're like a yellow tang, but they're, you know, not impossible to get right now. Then we have a big boy clownfish, and then I've got 10 choker snails, so plenty of snails. Also, the clownfish was on its own, so I didn't mind putting it with it by itself, basically. Like, I'd normally get a pair of clowns, but where he was on his own, he was happy on his own. He also was living with the fox face and the Scopaz tank in a tank that's a bit smaller than mine, so I'm sure they're all going to be really happy together. And yeah, once they're floated for a bit, we'll put them in. So the fish are in. You can see how big that clownfish is now. Huge. I've only got the light, like a gentle blue light on. The snails, all there. Some of them starting to creep up these rocks, look. That's the coral frag. Look at that. Looking good. And you can't really see it on camera, but where the epoxy looks a bit weird, what I've done is when I epoxy something in, I like to push like a little rock, so that little rock at the front, to give it like texture, so when it dries, it doesn't just look like a smooth epoxy, it sort of fits into the tank. But I'm in love with this guy. I think I'm going to call him Marlon after finding Nemo's dad, because he's obviously a big clownfish. So the fish are all in now. Look how big that clown is. I've never had one that big. I've had a Clarky clown that's probably actually a little bigger, but I've never had a Ocellaris that size, like a common clown. You see the fox face as well. Settled really nicely and really quickly. I think that's because they were in the same tank, so they were used to each other. Let's flip the camera around and have a better look. You have to excuse how dirty the glass is, because I splashed it with water when I was adding the fish. But the Scopaz tank, really nice, cool pattern. Fox face, I love the yellow on the fox face. They're also so good at eating algae. Both of them have already been pecking at this hair algae that's all over my rocks and stuff. That clown is amazing though. And then down here you got all the snails. These guys have started making their way onto the rocks. Hopefully I get rid of all this green off the rocks. And then over here we have the coral I bought, which is a hammer, just a green and purple one, but I maybe went a little bit overboard on the old epoxy looking back at it now. But I just wanted it glued in secure, and I wanted to kind of bring it on the front of this rock, so it wasn't too close to this, which used to be a frog spawn. And like I say, there's little, you see a little bit of green, there's little heads on it, where it looks like it might be trying to make a comeback, so we'll keep an eye on it. But yeah, this was 50 quid, it's got 2 heads. I don't know if that's the best price, or if that's a bad price, let me know, but the fish will all, you know, I think the clown was 30. I think the Scopaz might have been 40 and the Foxface 30, so yeah, well priced. And the clown's a monster. Look at him, he's so big. Like, he's not as big as an Oscar, but it reminds me of an Oscar in its like body stature, because he's a thick boy. So yeah, super happy with them. And they're all settled really well. They're eating as well. I fed a couple of flakes. They're all eating fine. These two are pecking at algae when they see anything. Like, you see him going there. Like, he's been picking this algae out of the filter, because I've got loads of hair algae in the filter where like I said, I pulled it all out yesterday. But hopefully, now that we've got this little army of 10 choker snails, it should all clear up. The Monoceros snails are like, there's weird tastes in the tank. So they're all going crazy, going everywhere, having a look, but I'm in love with this clown. Let me know your names for the fish in the comments. What would you call them? What should I name the Scopaz tank? What should I name the Foxface? Should we call the big clownfish Marlin? I think we probably should, but yeah. Definitely come up with ideas for names for the Scopaz and the Foxface hiding at the back there. So that brings us to the end of the video. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm sorry it's been so long since I made a video. Like I say, the heat wave killed all my fish. So I lost all my fish. So yeah, like I say, the heat wave killed all my fish. And so for people that know about marine fish, I didn't have any diseases. But if you leave a tank empty for 12 weeks, leave it fallow they call it, without fish, it kills off things like white spot or stuff like that could be in the tank. The dog is scratching in the background if you hear a weird noise. But yeah, it made sense to leave it empty for the full 12 weeks, so we did. And that's why there's not been a fish tank video in ages. I thought about doing a video just about how they died, but I thought it would be a bit more happy and fun to get the new fish in the same video. I thought it would just be, you know, more of a nicer journey to go on with you. So thank you for watching this. Subscribe if you want to see more fish tank videos. I'll keep you updated on the reef, keep you updated on how them frags are growing out, and there's still room for a few more fish. So if you've got any ideas what fish we should get, let me know. All there's left to say is I've been Link, you've been my legends. Thank you for watching this. I'll see you real soon. Thanks so much for watching this video. I really appreciate you. If you click up there, you can watch another video of mine, or if you've really enjoyed yourself, you can go down there, subscribe to the channel, and you can help me on my quest to change this Lego play button that YouTube sent me into a gold one.